I think one of the other issues is, though, which I see in the community, and I represent that as well, somebody who was not eligible. There's a lot of anger out there. How do we get screened? How do we get our loved ones screened? Perhaps this is something in the family. And my daughter's an oncology genetic counselor and explained to me how being in the family doesn't necessarily mean inherited. It could mean you've grown up in the same toxic environment as everyone else. So perhaps radon or asbestos or something else, or maybe something none of us even know about yet
Yeah.
because there hasn't been enough, research going into lung cancer as, tobacco use has been, basically labeled as the only cause of lung
Mhm.
cancer. You use this word normalizing. I think it's very important that people understand that this is a cancer anyone can get. Yes, there are risk factors. We want to be aware of them, mitigate them, or, eliminate them if possible. But for those of us who don't fall within this, how do we get screened? Pierre has spoken to me with his hat on as a primary care, and he said, if a patient expresses a lot of anxiety to me about, gosh, I think I, should be eligible because my mother had this and there was high radon in the house and another family member had this, an aunt or an uncle, that it's not against the law for a physician to refer you for this screening. That doesn't mean you're asking to be in a lung cancer screening program where you're getting screened every year, but at least in that moment of time.
Mhm.
And then it's going to be up to you and your team to figure out what's your comfort zone. Where do we go from here? If something isn't found, do you do this, every 5 years? What do you do? And of course, our hope is always, for research funding along the spectrum of unmet needs here is that we come up with a better tool, maybe a tiered tool. Like, for example, if you have a family history of breast cancer, you're screened earlier than
Mhm.
age 40. Here, maybe I hope there'll be something, that gets developed with a blood test or urine or saliva or something that kind of then raises a red flag that, you have this risk factor. We see something shedding in your, tissue, in your blood. And those people then go on to the next level of perhaps the screening. Because again, if it's true that the medical community is validating this, anyone can get this, we need some sort of universal tool.
We hope you liked this video. To support cancer research and get clear expert answers about cancer, follow us and visit krakencancer.org to join the Kraken Cancer community.